Dane Barber says, will Purdy ever have the fastball to beat man coverage? Can't throw lobs into space like you can versus in zone versus man. It's a great question. What do you think?
His arm's never going to be elite, but you can beat man coverage. Here's the thing: is there's just not many teams. I understand. We look at Cleveland. We talked about it then. We saw it with Baltimore a little bit, and we saw it at times with Kansas City. There's just not many teams that can do this and have the corners to play that kind of man coverage down in and down out. But for the teams that can, I think Brock's always going to struggle against those teams, just like he'll probably always struggle in inclement weather. And if that's your franchise guy, then those are things you're just going to have to try to work around the best you can and kind of hope that when he does struggle that he comes back and wins you a game like he did against Green Bay and plays well when it matters most. But no, I don't think his arm's ever going to be requisite enough to just start throwing people open in tight man coverage. I don't think that's who he's ever going to be.
I think that's one of the most unfortunate thing we learned about Brock Purdy this year. Most of the stuff we learned about Brock Purdy this year is that he's the truth. The rain thing sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Really wish that wasn't a thing for him because that you play in Northern California. But hell of a player. The one thing about man coverage that I think he needs to start doing more. Yeah, he doesn't have the arm strength to really run, dude. Run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Run.
Everyone's turned their back to you. Freaking run. You're really good at it. It's one of the main reasons the Niners won the NFC Championship game, Brock. So that should have been something I think you went to more in the Super Bowl. That might have been a way that you could have won because it's definitely a way that Patrick Mahomes won.
The thing with man coverage, though, and these teams that play it really well is they can send an extra player at you and make it really hard to run. They can fill all the gaps and kind of stop your running lanes, and then they can get pressure on you. So now you're facing pressure and you've got to get it out in tight coverage. That's that's hard. Most quarterbacks struggle with that, not just quarterbacks with weaker arms. So it's not just a Brock Purdy thing, but it's hard to do against that type of defense.